Hello. Hello, kitty cat. How are things in here? Oh, it's quite sweaty. But it's getting quite chilly in the evening now. Fresh tomatoes. If this weather keeps up, these ones might be ready soon. Not fair, is it, Radar? Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the recent flurry of new subscribers. Thank you very kindly for subscribing to my channel, and I hope that you enjoy my content, and always welcome to my regular viewers as well. I really appreciate you and the effort that you put into watching my content. Today is a beautiful day. But there are storms on the way. I've lost track of where we are with the storm naming convention, but here we go. But that does not deter. Tomorrow is going to be an awful day, so I'm just trying to get as much done today as I can. I'm going to start with situating this new raised bed which is going in the back of the allotment. Some of you, if you've been with my channel for a while, will have seen me make these beds several times before. I'm just doing it in exactly the same way as I always have. I've got some timber planks. These are full length. I think they're 4.8 meters. And I've got some stakes. Now, I found these stakes in a bag of kindling that my dad gave me. So I'm guessing at some point my dad has done exactly the same thing I'm about to do with these, which is to use them to stake the side panels of the bed into the ground. So, and that's going to go all the way along the fence and then at the front so that I can start to build up the soil layer. It's very probable that I'll only get one of these done. But you've got to start somewhere. Got a drill, which is I should only need to use to screw the holes in because these have already got pilot holes, which is a bonus. Gonna get on with it. You'll never guess, I've just found a strawberry. I mean, unfortunately it has been munched, but Who would expect to get strawberries in October? That's just amazing. Ooh. It would have been a good one if I'd seen it sooner. I wonder if there are any others. Let me, ooh, you zoomed really far in, sorry. Any more? No, just that one. That's a shame. Screws would be helpful. Screws are too long. That's better. How to get this up and over the tree. Alright, that was actually quite easy. I did break one branch of the plum tree, but otherwise, first edge is in situ. Need to move these bricks out of the way. Just go over there, and I think I should probably knock it over that way a bit more. Am I going to regret not having a big enough gap there so I can weed between these two? I can't decide. What happens if I move it a little bit more? that might be better. Can I get my hand down between there? I think so. So if I did need to weed, I probably just about could. To do the next one, I am going to need some more spikes, and I don't have any right now, so I'm going to leave that one and do other things. Last of the tomatoes have come out. I lost count ages ago of how many kilos of tomatoes I got, but I don't think I'm going to need to grow very many next year. Note to self, don't grow so many tomato plants next year. But I'm not going to be idle. I'm going to go straight in and plant. I've got 1 kale and 2 cabbages that need to go out. I haven't hardened them off. They've just been in the greenhouse, so they're going to have to fend for themselves. And I also recently tried to lift up this cosmos, and I should have done it ages ago because I've sort of broken it and now it looks really sad. But underneath I found some more kale that I'd forgotten I planted. This bed's very weedy, but there are in fact some pak choi in there. There's some more pak choi in here, load more beetroot. There are still a few beans desperately trying to grow, not quite sure if they're going to do anything. So this is my winter veg patch, really. I'm just going to try and keep everything that I want to keep alive over winter in this one bed, largely so I can clear out all of the other beds ready for next season. I can have a bit more thought perhaps, into what I'm growing. But mainly so that if it frosts and I need to cover it, I've only got one bed to try and worry about. Sometimes it's just really nice to be out here without really having anything to do. I've just sort of been having a moment to myself. It's quite nice. It's a gorgeous day. But I am done for today. I found 3 stakeable bits of wood for the other side of the border. But it just seems like too much of a pain to get my chop saw out to turn these into pointy ends. So I'm just going to take these over to my parents and use my dad's chop saw instead. So the weather is kind. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Hello, it is the next day. It is incredibly cold. It's really cold and it's raining, and the rain is very cold. Like, it feels like it's freezing. It isn't quite, but I'm not staying out here very long. I've got my 3 stakes to finish off my second plank of wood. I just need to do a little bit of ground levelling, and we should be good to get that in, and then I'm going to go inside where it's warm. So this is what I mean by a bit of ground levelling. You can see there's quite a big gap there, and then no gap further on. So that's the bit I'm going to try and do something about. This back piece is definitely more stable now. Let's see if I can replicate it on the front piece. Oh great, no battery. You're not supposed to be in there. Get out. Get out. Shoo. Go on. Shoo. Hello, I've swapped to the battery on this thing so that I can take out these screws on this end stake. Because they just stabbed me in the thumb, and I'm going to swap them round to the other side. Okay, it's done. I don't have end pieces. The end pieces were supposed to come off the length of the long pieces, but they turned out to be exactly the right length. So I'm going to have to get some more timber for that. But that's okay. I'm rather pleased with it. It looks quite proper. The next stage for this is to get rid of all of the remaining cardboard out of my shed to lay in the bottom and then put the compost on top. But as I think you can see, it is in fact raining, and I'm not entirely inclined to do much more, except that I need to relocate the little thyme that came out. And that's going to go in this bed, which is the sandy bed. Peanut, you're not supposed to be in there. What a mess. One day I will tidy the garage. But not today. The dogs are now insisting that they go for their walk, so I am calling it a day there, folks. Thank you so much for watching and following this far. Please let me know what you've been getting up to in your gardens this week, and I shall look forward to catching up with you in the comments. Bye.